Hello, I'm Toycat, and welcome back to Seed Sunday. Seed Sunday is a weekly series I run on my channel where I show you seeds Minecraft console edition that are particularly interesting and worth checking out in some way. And this week I have a seed that so many of you have been requesting, because you might have noticed from all the previous Seed Sundays, and indeed any seed exploration you've done yourself, that most seeds as of TU31 are island based. So they'll be like 80-90% water, and then they'll have some islands which might have interesting things on and they might not. It seems like the world generator is going for that more often than not, because I think, deep potions are mandatory, and I think deep potions usually are quite big, especially by 360/PS3 world standards. So today I have a seed that is 85 to 90% land instead of water. It does still have a deep ocean, and it does still have rivers going through it, but yeah, it's mostly land, which means you have access to things you might not otherwise have, like giant flatlands, and like NPC villages, and mob spawners and stuff like that. So I'll be showing you around the whole seed in today's video, but first of all, I'd very much appreciate a like on it if you do like it, because it does help out the channel a lot, and let's know you do like it, and we'll see more stuff like this. But let's get straight into it, shall we? So the first thing you're going to want to know is, what is the seed? So the seed for this video is Toycat map 57. It's going to be on screen right now. No spaces, no caps, no anything like that. If you type that in, then you'll get to this exact seed, and you'll spawn on this little corner here, and you'll see the deep ocean that makes it look like it's any other seed, because, like I said, it seems like every seed is, programmed in to always have a deep ocean. At least, that's how it seems from my testing and from everyone else's. But yeah, if you look, you do have a deep ocean here, and it is reasonably sized, but the thing that makes it not so bad is that even though it covers like half the map going across, if you look at the, like the width of this thing, it's like 80 blocks, and it means that, there's this corner of the map that has a big deep ocean, but the rest of the map is entirely unaffected by it. So that's kind of positive. It means if you want deep ocean, well, this seed wouldn't be for you, but if you did kind of want it for the gravel at the bottom, I can't see any reason you'd want it, besides maybe like traveling, having a boat race across here, you could do that. I don't know, you got some things you can do here, and it's here for you if you need that. But if you don't want deep ocean, good news, you can ignore it entirely, because if you just head to the north, to the west, or really anywhere besides into the big deep ocean, you'll be in pretty good hands. So yeah, you spawn in this forest biome right here, with access to deep ocean, and if you chop down your trees you want, and then get your sugarcane you want, you're in a pretty good place to start the the actual world, because you can have all the trees chopped down, you can have some saplings to take with you, and then if you just head to the north, you'll end up at this plains biome here. So this plains biome, which is a little bit to the northeast of the spawn, is kind of like the entrance to everywhere in the map, because if you head to the north kind of west area, you can end up at some cool extreme hills biomes, some swamps, some roof forests, or if you want to go to the northeast, you get stuff like savanna, you get stuff like desert plains, and you get all the flat biomes that if you want to build on, it's perfect, because if you can't see just over there, deserts are never perfectly flat, neither are plains, but this is about as close as you can get on a lot of places, because look how flat this area is right here. You chop down a few cacti, you get rid of like a few sand blocks, and boom, you've got a 100 by 100 flat area or something like that, which is pretty impressive for a survival seed. So yeah, you can see just like taking away one deep blocks like this, and then one deep sand like this, and boom, you've got yourself an amazingly large flatland to build on, and this can be your base if you just want to focus on building and the seed isn't too important. If the seed is important and you love exploring and getting all the cool stuff, then like I said, if you head to the northeast, you'll get a lot of cool biomes, and because desert, savannas, and plains all have a decent access to villages, that means that just over here at these corners, again, very, very close to that area I just said was the hub to the map, you'll find your first village. So one thing I want to point out before I show you this chest is the chest seems to be different on Xbox and PlayStation. So on Xbox One and 360, you should get this loot. On PlayStation, you'll get something else entirely. It might be better, it might be worse, it's hard to say. But yeah, in the chest you can see it's got Lord Sue, which is a cool new, TU31 exclusive enchantment, and then you also got some iron boots, an iron pickaxe, and some apples. Again, on PlayStation Vita and probably on the Wii U, you're going to get slightly different stuff. I have no idea why that is, but I was really confused because someone left a comment saying, oh, the chests randomly generate white cells says diamonds, and it turns out those were always coming from PlayStation users. So yeah, I regenerated the seed over and over again. I keep getting that exact same stuff on the Xbox One, but it could, your results may vary, but there is a chest here, and chests can contain good things. Just bear that in mind. Fun little fact I found about seeds. So yeah, this village here is also kind of nice because it has a set of planters, but it's not, the ideal village, because one set of planters isn't enough to, give you everything, and plus there are no carrots, there's nothing like that. So what do you do once you've, looted this village and you want some more goodies from survival? So obviously you head to the northeastern more, you go through a savanna, you go through a desert, or whatever you want to go through, and you end up at a second village, because this seed has 2 NPC villages, which is surprisingly rare. I mean, I know you can find a lot of villages if you get a lucky seed, but still, here we go with, the second village, which is just over here, and obviously is a lot bigger than the first one. So something I really like about this village, which I'll mention before we go to the blacksmith chest, is the fact that because, there's 3 types of villages, the savanna villages, there's regular villages, and then there's desert villages. Because this village generated on the the very edge of the desert and the world generated there. Even though most of the village is actually in the savanna biome, it's still a desert village. And there's something really, like, I know, I really like the balance of colors here, where you've got, clearly the savanna biome with all the trees here, but you've also got the desert, so you end up with stuff like this, and I just really like that personally. So yeah, you've got a desert, even though there's savanna trees all over it, and inside this place, you get a bunch more villages, you get a bunch more crops, and you also get a blacksmith chest. So again, your results will vary depending on platform, but in this case, we've got 2 pairs of fine leggings. I think it will do better than that on PlayStation and Wii U, just something worth bearing in mind. So yeah, that's that over there, and it's got a bunch of the other stuff. It looks like here you've got the church generated inside another building, which is always kind of fun. And yeah, basically cool villages, always worth checking out. I'm sure you can do this yourself. But what else does the seed have to offer besides villages, besides flatlands, and besides mob spawners? So I only showed you the one above ground spawner mob spawner. I've also found one very close nearby underground, in case you want to make like a close pathway between the two. Because mob spawners are surprisingly hard to find after the update. Not only because obviously there's no X-ray glitch, or there is, but it doesn't work so well. But also because the fact that it just seems like it feels like they're less common, but that could just be my perception. So just over here, we've got a zombie spawner at these coordinates right here, and inside the chest, you've got yourself 13, a name tag, you got saddle, so cool stuff that you might just want, 2 name tags in fact, actually, and boom, another zombie spawner, can turn it into an XP farm, can turn it into whatever you want. It's something handy that's surprisingly rare, so I thought you might appreciate the coordinates there. So it's below water, so I'd recommend like digging down from like here maybe, and then going a few blocks to the left, just something worth pointing out. So yeah, below water for that one, and then the other one, like I think you saw earlier, just over here, these coordinates. So 2 villages, 2 mob spawners, but what about the rest of the seed? Because, flatlands are awesome, villages are awesome, mob spawners are awesome, but not everyone wants those things. I mean, I've mentioned how they're my favorite things in the seed, but what else is there to offer here? So, like I mentioned, the 3 biomes offer the plains, the savanna, and the desert are surprisingly common here, but you also have access to the smallest mesa biome I've ever seen, or it's not necessarily the smallest I've ever seen, but it's one of the smallest I've ever seen, because just over here I was like, I guess there is no mesa biome on the seed, and then I was like, oh, wait a minute, there's some red sand here, and as you can see, there is in fact a little bit of mesa biome here, which means if you want red sand, you have access to it on this place. It's very, very, there's not very much of it, because you've got the tiniest bit of it here, but if you want red sand and red sandstone, good news, it's all over here. No stone clay, but red sand is a lot more important, and it just kind of covers the map and does this really weird thing in the corner here. So, yeah, besides that, if you head along the north of the map, or actually if you head along the south, you get some zombie stuff, which is entirely opposite. If you head along the north of the map, then you get all these same biomes I mentioned, but then you'll end up eventually into the kind of other area of the map. So, this is the other third of the map, which has the biomes, which usually aren't too desirable, but in this case, I think they're quite cool, because you end up with stuff like this, where you can see that, I know, there's something really cool about the extreme hills crossing over into the swamp and making, I really like the, prettiness of this, which is kind of cool, but as well as that, you have stuff like the swamp, which is the new type of swamp, not the old type, which is not so annoying, just over here. You have quite a few of these, actually, and it means you have access to a lot of the blue flower, but as well as that, you have access to, big forests like this, followed by a spruce forest, followed by a roof forest, followed by a birch forest, which means if you want any type of tree, really, besides the acacia ones which are over there, then you can get it. You've got, like, you've got your oak wood, you've got your birch wood, you've got your spruce wood, and then you've got your dark oak wood, all within, like, this close to each other. It's like Forest Megacity. I don't know if you like forests too much, but if you do, you're in a pretty good place here, because what you could even do if you wanted to is, because there's so much excess leaves here, you could take some of these leaves and make this like a leafy city. I don't know, like, having access to a forest this big is something I've never really used properly, but if you want to do something with that, you can. And then you've also got, obviously, access to a couple of Extreme Hills biomes. So these Extreme Hill biomes are actually high up enough that they actually start snowing on them. If you don't know, if you haven't watched my temperature guide video, which actually might not be out by the time I upload this, basically, if you once you go above Y95, it starts to naturally generate with snow there. So you see, even though this is an Extreme Hill biome, you get some snow up here. And if you want to have something like an ice farm, you don't have to now go to a snow biome. You can just do it from up here, which I think is kind of handy. And yeah, that's that. So as well as that over here, and as well as the big roof forest down here, we've also got just more extreme hills, basically a lot of the same, but in a cool different amount of variance. I like that the seed really does have, like, even though it's got lots of different biomes, it has a lot of the biomes in the same place. So if you like your swamp, you like your roof forest, this side of the map is perfect. If you like your flatlands, you like your savanna biomes, then you'll like the other side of the map. I think it's got like a 2-in-1 kind of feel to it, and I think that's kind of interesting for a seed, because even if right now you only like this stuff, you might eventually get bored of that, and having access to this stuff on the seed and being able to do some weird stuff with that is something you might just enjoy. Maybe that's just my opinion. Let me know if you have any opinions on, like, whether the forest can ever be good. I don't really. I'm trying. I'm really struggling to think like, oh yeah, you can build on top of it. But I know a lot of people do like different stuff to me. So let me know if you have any plans for that forest, or if you just prefer the flatland like myself, in the comments down below. But otherwise, I'd really appreciate a like on the video because it helps out the channel a lot and lets me do like it. Share if you really likes it, and subscribe if you're new around here. I make videos like this every single day on my channel, and this is the end of Seed Sunday, I'm afraid. So I hope you did all enjoy it. I'm still on the lookout for the elusive free water temple, or free ocean monuments on one seed video. It's been really, really tricky. I think it might be impossible because every single time I find anything that should be closed, it just won't work that way. But I'm going to keep on looking, and I'm going to keep on believing, and let you know when I find it through a nice Seed Sunday like video like this. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you all had a lovely day and a lovely video watching experience, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.